Now, what is the next step? How we can use quantasum? That is the third step. How we can use that? Okay, so there is some template syntax I given here. We can use it. For that, we use a div class. Okay, just I'm giving the template syntax. It is not hard and fast rules. Use it in like that way. Okay, so I'm using a span class, span tag. Okay, why we use a span tag? Because I have to some customize that icon. For that, I am using a span tag. If you want to customize that icon, you have to apply a color of that icon. You can increase its size of that icon. You can use it for span tag, because on that directly you can apply or customize in this icon tag. It is not applied properly. Okay, because it seems to be not be look a smooth icon. Okay, so for that we use a span tag. In the span tag we use input group text, that is a bootstrap classes. Okay, in build a bootstrap classes, if you want to use a icon before the input box, means for example, if this is your input box and I have to apply the icon before that input box in that fashion. Okay, then for that we have to use input group text, that is a bootstrap class, means that indicates whatever the your input its HTML element, before that you can use that icon. Okay, for that, because it is aligned properly to your input box, for that we use that class. Then we can also use here 2em, that is we can set the font size 2em. 2em stands for, that is a unit of that CSS. 1 em is equal to 16 pixel. Okay, for that, according to that 2 em we can use a 32 pixel. So here apply that 2 em, we can set a color of that icon and then use that directly tag icon tag I tag. You can set a CSS class of that fontasum. fa is a base class. Fa stands for fontasum. It is an indication for that, and fa hyphen user, that is icon name. Okay, now I close that span tag, and then I have to use the input box, because I want to use the input box. Before that input box, I have to display that icon. For according to that, you can use that quantasum icon. Is a one of the style or approach I just mentioned here. You can use your approach. You can use it. Okay. Now for that, here in your login HTML, we have to use that approach. Okay. I just okay, wait. Okay. Please switch off your video. Okay. Okay. Now here, just add your login form. Okay. So I'm just copy that things to avoid our time. So I just copy that things in the form tag. Okay. Up to this, I have to copy that. We can just use it. A very simple form tag that we use a same validation. Whatever the validation we yesterday on the yesterday session, we learned that all these things is apply in that form tag. Same in the form tag, we use a template reference variable ng form. Okay, we use an event director, that's the ng submit on submit. Okay, same we use a form group input group prepend. I can just, for appropriate display, I use a div tag. In the tag, use input group prepend. Use a span tag. Right now I just discussed that in syntax. Input group text style font size. Okay, I can use icon. For that, if a user, you can display that and use the input box. Also, you can do the validation on that input box. I have mentioned that condition as well. Please enter the email ID and appropriate email ID. Okay. Again, for that, I have to create a email pattern property in our component file. Okay. So I will create that file. Also, I create on submit method as well. Okay. In our component file, I'm just here mention the f of type ng form. Okay. And then you can create the email property. I just want to copy that. So I just copy these things, which okay. Also, I require the incorrect the property. So I'm copy that both property as well here. Okay. Then the same syntax is there we use. Okay, as it is syntax, you can check out later one. Same is there for you. We use for password we use fa lock to display a lock icon. For that we use that. Okay. Now I have to use some string messages. Whatever the response is come from your backend, I have to display that. If user is invalid, then I have to display that message to the end user. Yes, user is invalid. For that purpose, here we have to just use some HTML code. It will display a dynamically. For that, we use that incorrect property. Okay, we can apply the inline style sheet here. You can set the color, font weight, all these things, and we display the incorrect. Okay. Now check whether how our UI look likes. Okay, still it's some error because that error is see here. Error is what error you also understand what error occurs. According to that, you have to solution that. Okay, login component message. I think see here. We use a ng model. Okay, when we use a ng model, which model
Form model.
I have to forms model, correct? So I have to import that forms model because I never use that forms model. That's why error comes. So in app.model.ts, we can import that forms model. So forms module. It not be forms module. Okay. I have to import that things as well. Okay. Forms module. I just copy that and import it. Import forms module from sorry, Angular. Okay. Slash forms. Okay. It is present in that packages. Now check whether it is compiled properly or not. Yes, compiled successfully. There is no any error. Okay. Now see our what UI is look like. See for the icon we use a font awesome. It look like that way. And by default it is take the data because my browser is cache the data, so it is automatically add that data here. Okay. Okay. Now it is look better. Okay. Icon also looking properly aligned, and we can use here if you want delete that things, it will proper validation. Please enter the email ID. Okay, still your button is deactivated. Once you enter the email ID, it will be activated. Okay, now we can integrate your login API in your Angular application.